Hey, what's up, everybody? Um, out here at Jones Park again. Told you this is where I get my practice in. Um, since it's the off season, I know a lot of people are working on, fixing some parts of their game that aren't quite as tight as they need it to be on the course. Maybe they're trying to fix their short game, trying to work on putting, you know, throwing fairways, long distance drivers, whatever. Um, I'm doing some of the same stuff myself, so I figured I'd come out and talk about it and try and give you some insight on how I'm attempting to fix a swing change. Um, when I posted something on Facebook about trying to get the swoop out of my swing, Dustin, a good friend of mine in Fayetteville, was like, "Yeah, I have the same problem," and I've noticed it, but you don't tell somebody they have a swing change like in the middle of a round or something like that. But I noticed once I saw myself on video from the Tar Heel footage that I swung the disc like a racquetball racket. It was terrible. It was terrible. Allegedly, somebody told me about it, but I don't remember it, so I don't think it happened. So, um, but yeah, I'm gonna get back to actually how to actually fix that, or how to attempt to fix it, and maybe just my way of correcting this issue. Um, so, like I said, I played racquetball for a long time, since I was like 5 until I was about 13, 14. I think I played my first tournament when I was like 6. I've been competitive my entire life. I played baseball also, so this is where this type of fundamentals training is going to come into play. Um, as a pitcher, when you get to a certain point, basically the same point that I feel like I'm at now in my disc golf abilities, you take fundamentals and you break them down step by step and go through them step by step. Like I'm out here, let's see, hold on, here we go. That's hole 9 right behind me, and right behind that is hole 1's basket. So I'm just standing back here. You can kind of see some of the divot marks from my feet from moving around and stuff like that, because it's wet out here. But just sitting here and going through, lining up the shot the same way I would line it up if I was going to throw it any other time. And then step by step, going through the entire swing with, as far as standing there and just reaching back straight, looking where the disc is, feeling where your body is, feeling how your legs are positioned, feeling, adjusting, finding out what feels better than others. Everybody has a different body, so some things aren't going to feel quite right at first, but you just got to find your comfortability in that. But just go through it step by step. So I've been sitting here out here and just literally standing here and watching my swing. I'm not even watching where like the disc is going. I pick out a target and I line my buddy up with that target, but I want to feel the swing. Like that's the fundamental side of it. So I want to feel the swing. In baseball, they did the same thing with like your pitching windup. So you would literally stand on the mound, ball in hand, glove, everything, looking at a catcher and everything. I mean, catcher's there and everything, but you're not going to throw the ball to him, not for a while. You're going to stay in there. You take your first step, that first pitcher step. That's usually backwards or sideways, whichever a pitcher chooses to go with. Mine was just straight back. Line everything up. You would go straight back, take that first step back, and then start over. You would literally take that first step back like 10 or 15 times, and then you would go on to the next step, and you'd do both steps. So your first step back, and then your pivot. So it's the same thing over here where I'm trying to fix a swing. I don't want to just stand here and aimlessly throw and try and feel it. I mean, to me, honestly, it's always felt like I pulled the disc straight. I didn't know it until I saw the film. And, you know, sometimes that happens. I don't know. Nobody's ever filmed me. So, but the point is you're going to have to dedicate some time to going out and doing stuff like that. Like, you can't just go out and do field work and try and feel it, you know, for a day or so and think that you fix something. Maybe you fixed a little bit, but it's not going to hold because you didn't train in a habit. So that's the next topic that I want to talk about, is training this habit. That's the fundamental side of it. The fundamentals are habits. There's stuff that you've trained in and trained in and trained in so much that eventually that's all you can do. Even if you tried to do something else, you can't do it. So training in good habits is what's going to end up giving you the swing that you desire, which is, in my case, what we're talking about. But whether it be your putt or, you know, your swing or your footwork or, I don't know, your mid-ranges, they don't feel good in your hand. Maybe you need to change your grip or something small like that. You know, something small like that isn't going to take this type of, I guess, commitment, because basically what I'm doing here is I'm training in these habits. I'm not even going out and playing practice round. I haven't stepped on a tee pad in a couple of weeks now. I played the backwards golf monthly in Greenville last weekend, but that doesn't count. It's backwards golf. It's like 107-foot shots. It was a couple of long holes, but in that sense, that's not like a legit competition round. That's just me going out and having fun with friends. That's one of those events that I like to just play because it's fun. It's the people that I like to play disc golf with on the only type of gimmick golf that I like to play. So anyway, back to it, is like, when you're training these habits in, you have to make sure that you're dedicating like the commitment to paying attention to what you're doing. You can't just go out and kind of go through the motions and not really think about what you're doing and expect to have like a positive impact, or at least an impact of the magnitude to which I think you're looking for, which I'm looking for. With my swing, I'm swinging the disc like a racquetball racket. I mean, that's exactly what it is. As soon as I saw it, you swing like a racket, like you've got a racket in your hand. But what it's doing to my swing, you know, is it's taking out a lot of, like, being able to generate more velocity on the disc coming out of the hand. So by me coming way up there and swooping down, there's a lot of speed loss because I'm swinging in a curve. So back to baseball, when they were teaching us to swing, quickest way between two points, shortest distance between 2 points, and the quickest way to get there is straight. Always straight. That's why if you analyze some of the top players' swings, you look at them, you know, some of them might have a few hitches here and there, like at the beginning of their swing or something, but when you start to watch how the disc moves, or how the disc doesn't move, if you pay attention really close, you can tell, like, once those guys take that X step and they're on their back foot getting ready to go towards their front foot, that disc really does not move. Like, their arm and body moves around it, but it stays exactly where they want it, and it pulls through on a straight line. Once they get to that hit point, it's like a slingshot. Simon's probably got the best example of it. I think I watched one of his slow-mo videos last night. His swing it's pretty incredible. Go watch that video. Simon's doing some really cool stuff right now. Anyway, kind of got off subject. My ADD will do that. To the fundamental side of it, you know, like I said, train those good habits in, and you'll get good results out of it. You'll start to see your game change, and you'll start to see it be more consistent if you train it correctly. So on that note, there is something to be said about the type of practice that you're doing, the quality of the practice that you're doing, and how much of it you're doing. You can practice too much. I know that sounds crazy, but you can practice too much. You have to take time away to let your body recuperate, or, you know, not just wear yourself out or wear your mind out, because when you're out here trying to do stuff like this, it'll wear your mind down. And so that'll lead me to the next point, is like the mentality that you take into this type of practice and any type of practice. So I came out here and did this for probably 45 minutes to an hour. I may have thrown 40, 50 shots or something like that. Like, that'll let you know how much time I'm taking with each throw, and standing there and really going through, breaking down every single step before I actually throw the disc and try and feel that correction and see if it feels smooth, even watching it to see if it looks smooth. But back to the mentalities that you want to try and approach these types of practice with. Something I've been reading about is a lot the psychology side of golf, the game of golf in general. Is a training mindset and like a trusting mindset. So the training mindset is exactly what I was talking about here, where I'm going through fundamentals training and I'm being analytical and very aware of what's going on with my body, and making adjustments. On the other side, the trusting mentality is more of exactly how you like to approach, or how you would want to approach like a tournament golf or a practice round. When you're playing a practice round for tournament golf, actually most of your time when you're practicing outside of doing this type of stuff and fundamentals training and fixing stuff, most of that time should be spent in that trusting mentality where you're swinging freely. You're not thinking about mechanics at all. You're literally, for me, it's picking a target and hitting that target. Trusting yourself that you've picked up the right disc. You trust yourself that you've done the training to put in those good habits, and that's going to tie right back into it, that trusting mentality. What's going to come out are your habits. So if you trained in these good habits where you're just, you know, throwing the disc the way you want, pulling it straight line. I know that's for me. Most of the stuff I'm speaking, for instance, is for me. But that trusting mentality will really help you swing freely and allow those habits that you've trained in to shine through, and you'll start to see more consistency, which is going to build your confidence. One thing about that trusting mentality is the stuff that I've read teaches you that you want to approach it with the cocky confidence is what it calls. It's having the confidence to know that you can make the shot, even if you can't make the shot. Sometimes you'll surprise yourself. I know it's happened to me a few times where I'm playing a course and you know, it's just like a big bomber course, which, I mean, I throw the disc far enough to be competitive, you know, in the open field, but I'm not one of those that's going to impress you with the distance. So I know when I stand on those tee pads where it's a big bomber course, it's one of those things where I'm like, it's not my comfort zone. So it's really difficult to trust yourself in those situations. But the moment you do, and you relax, and you feel that relaxed swing and trust in swing, and you hit your target, and the disc goes further than you expected it to, that should be an eye-opener. Like, okay, well, maybe I just need to relax and trust myself. Like, maybe I can throw that far. You know what I mean? So that's like one of those things where you'll trick your subconscious into thinking that you're like the best disc golfer that ever lived. Most of us are not, because he's just signed like a big contract, not probably, but definitely the biggest contract in disc golf. Anyway, we won't talk about him. But these mentalities will help you progress your game to, I think, a new level. I think it's something that's progressed my game to a level that I didn't know I would be able to attain. I mean, at this point, I've been playing the best disc golf that I've played ever. I mean, and I got myself to, I won't say I got myself there, because there's a lot of support that I have behind me that's pretty critical to me getting there as well. But just to go back over that trusting thing, I had a flawed swing for this entire year, and I got to 994 as my rating. I won quite a few events this year, more events than I've ever won in one year. Won B tier, that was a pretty big one to me, and even won it in a playoff, which is something also new to me. I don't think I've only won one other playoff, and that was like 2015. But anyway, I trusted my swing. I trusted myself. I got into that mentality from the books that I've been reading, and it allowed me to, even though I had a flawed swing, I trusted myself and my body was relaxed. So when your body's relaxed and you trust yourself, it's easier to hit that target with a flawed swing. It's way better to trust a flawed swing than to be trying to think about mechanics while you're throwing a shot in competition, for sure. I hope you guys take something away from this. I shot a video yesterday and it didn't really make sense. I was kind of jumping around, which I tend to do because I ramble and my ADD kicks in, and I start talking about one subject and it leads to another, and all of a sudden we're way off topic. But I don't know. I was really surprised that to see how many people watched the first video. It's kind of cool. I'm glad you guys, I don't know if you enjoyed it. I didn't get any dislikes, so I guess you guys enjoyed it. A couple of people left comments. Little Jort. Isco left I think it's Insco. Is it Insco? Mike Insco? Super cool guy. He's, I'm probably going to butcher his title, but he does like graphic design for MVP. They've got some really sweet artwork, which done by that guy. And there's some other artwork out there that he does that's pretty sweet. So check him out too, man. He's a super cool guy. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys are taking something away from this. I'm not just doing this so I can like ramble on and like talk, even though I like to ramble on and talk. I know Dustin when he mentioned something about it, I noticed his swing and stuff, and I figured this would be a really good video, especially since it's off season. There's no events going on. I don't have anything else to really talk about. I mean, I did play the monthly, the GVDG monthly, backwards golf, which is one of my favorite, gimmick monthlies. I'm not a fan of gimmick monthlies or gimmick golf in general. that one's fun to me. But yeah, if you guys want to see like anything particular, especially for the off season, shoot me a message on Facebook. I'm pretty chillax, man. I'll answer. Maybe if you don't ask something crazy. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of enjoyed being in front of the camera. I enjoy rambling and talking. Hopefully it's something you guys want to hear. But yeah, like I said, shoot me a message on Facebook if there's something you guys want to see this off season. I'm going to be doing stuff like this as far as practice is concerned for like a hot minute for the next week or so. I've been at it for a couple of weeks now. Oh, yeah, check that. Yeah, forgot. I shaved for y'all. Jess made a comment about my molestache on Facebook after the first video I posted. She's supposed to be one of my best friends. She calls me a molestache. I don't understand it. Plus, now my girlfriend's going to be really excited about it too. So yeah, with that awkward oddness about my facial hair and people calling me crazy names and saying I look like that. Anyway, I might shoot like a practice round. And one of my best friends has got some time off until like the first of the year, so he and I are probably going to get a round in the morning next week. That'll be the first like round of golf I'll play with, you know, seeing what progress I've made out here, and I'll try and give you guys an update. Maybe actually get somebody else to videotape some stuff so you guys can see some progress, because I've got some video from what my swing used to look like. So maybe that's something I'll bring you guys next time. But until next time, we'll see you guys next video. Okay, bye.